Okay students, now the next topic is the echo. What is the echo? Repetition of the original sound from the reflection of the sound. Repetition of the original sound. If the sound is incident on some rigid support, some rigid wall, or in terms of the hilly areas, we can hear the echo. So what is the echo? Repetition of the original sound due to reflection of the sound from some rigid support. So we can consider that at 22 degrees Celsius, what is the speed of the sound? We have considered 344 meter per second. What is the retaining time of the here? We can hear the sound only if the sound is incident on the air for at least 0.1 second. Then we can only sense the sound if the sound is incident for at least 0.1 second. So how we can derive the value for we can derive the value of speed? Then speed becomes distance upon time. So we have to determine what should be the distance of the rigid wall from the source of the sound. So at any time we cannot hear the echo. At one particular situation only we can hear the echo. So what should be the distance of the rigid wall from the source? So that distance we have to determine. So distance becomes speed multiplied by time. So if you are sending the time to the left side, then that will be multiplied. Put the value of sound speed at 22 degrees Celsius, 344 into what is the retaining time of the sound when we can sense the sound at least for 0.1. So if you multiply the value, then that will be 34.4 meter. So that 34.4 meter is the distance traveled by the sound wave from the source to incident on the wall, and after reflection again from the wall to again the source. So that total distance is 34.4. Then what should be the distance of the rigid wall from the source? Then that will be only 17.2 meter. That is a half of this distance. So this distance is nothing but total distance traveled by the wave and after reflection. This is the total distance. Half of the distance is nothing but the distance of the rigid wall from the source. So this is about the echo. What is reverberation? Sometimes you can hear multiple times reflection of the sound. So multiple times reflection of the sound due to the original sound, that is called reverberation of the sound, but that topic is not the part of the syllabus for this academic year. Now the next topic is the qualities of the sound. So this is about the echo, how we can hear the echo, what should be the distance of the wall from the source of the sound. For reflection of the sound, the wave should be, or the rigid support should be large. For example, if you see for the reflection of the light, if there is a small mirror or a very small glass, even that we can see the reflection of the light. But for source, for the reflection of the sound, the obstacle or the wall should be very large, or the obstacle must be very large, because the difference in light and the sound is about their wavelength. In case of light, if you consider the light wave is like this, suppose this is the light wave, then in comparison with this, what is the wavelength of the sound? It is around this much will be the large one. Suppose if you are putting a very small source or obstacle in front of the light, then that will be the reflection take place. But if you are putting if you put the very small obstacle in front of the sound wave, then that will not be the possible of the reflection of the sound. So this is about the difference in terms of their wavelength. Now what are the qualities of the sound? So this is the next topic. What are the qualities of sound? The first quality is the pitch. We can consider the pitch as nothing but the frequency of the sound. or we can consider the sharpness or shrillness of the sound. Sharpness of the sound. So what is the pitch? Pitch refers to sharpness or shrillness of the sound. Sharpness. So sometimes you can hear that some singers can sing at a very for a very long time, or they can take a alap for a very long time. So that is nothing but the sharpness of the sound. Then if you are increasing, pitch is nothing but the frequency, means that if you are increasing the frequency, if the frequency is increases, then we can say that pitch is also increases. So pitch is refers as a frequency. If you are increasing the frequency, then pitch also increase. If you are decreasing the frequency, pitch also decrease. But pitch, high pitch does not means loudness of the sound. Loudness does not mean a pitch. Pitch means frequency. High frequency means high pitch. We can say that. For example, if you consider, then female sound, female voice is sharper than male voice. Female voice is more sharper than that of the male. So female have high pitch, that of the male have low pitch. One more example, if you consider tabla and dagga. Tabla have sharper sound. So tabla have high pitch than that of the dagga. Next, this is the first property, that is a pitch. Pitch means frequency or sharpness of the sound. Second property is the timbre. Timbre. What is timbre? Timbre refers as a sound quality. So every individual in the universe have individual unique sound quality. For example, whatever I am talking, you can hear, so you don't have same quality of the sound. Similarly, if you are playing some instrument, then that instrument having some unique sound. That unique quality of the sound is referred as a timbre. So, for example, if you consider, suppose you are on the telephone, or if you are talking somebody else, and even initially if you are not introducing yourself, even after that he can easily recognize your name. Why he can able to recognize our name? Because we have some unique quality of the sound. Due to that, he can able to recognize our voice. So this is about the quality of the sound. Then every individual instrument having its own individual quality of sound. For example, guitar, harmonium, then we can consider dole, then we can consider as an example of the bassuri. These are the flute. These are the have individual quality of sound, and this timbre depends on tones and overtones. Tones and overtones, this is for the next chapter. In the 12th standard we are going to see detailed into this, what is the tones and overtones. So these are about the sound. When the sound are overlapping on each other, that refers to overtones. So timbre or solid quality of the sound depends on tones and overtones. So this is the second, that is the second quality of the sound. It is called timbre. And third quality of sound is the loudness. What is loudness? Loudness means if you have higher intensity of sound, then your sound is more loud. So here intensity of sound is directly proportional to square of the amplitude. If the sound wave have higher amplitude, then intensity will be high, then that sound considered as a loud. If the amplitude is less, intensity is less, then that is not a loud sound. It is low frequency sound, or we can hear the low sound. So loudness refers to intensity of sound, and intensity is directly proportional to square of the amplitude. If the amplitude is large, then intensity will be large, and that sound is considered as a loud sound. What is the unit of this intensity? It is a Weber per meter square. WB per meter square. Weber per meter square is the unit of intensity of the sound. And also we have one more relation, that intensity is inversely proportional to square of the distance. Intensity is inversely proportional to square of the distance. If between source and the observer, suppose this is a source of sound and he is the observer who is listening to the sound. If the distance increase, then intensity decrease. If the intensity decrease, then that is not a loud sound. If the distance decrease, then intensity increase, and intensity increasing with increasing loudness of the sound. So this is the third property of the sound. It is called loudness. Now the last topic for the current chapter, because maximum part of this chapter is skipped for this academic year. So what is the last topic? That is a Doppler effect. What is the Doppler effect? This Doppler effect is very useful in light as well as in sound. When there is a one source, suppose this is a train or something, any vehicle, then here is one observer. He is the observer who is listening to this sound. Then suppose this train is going towards the observer. Then what will happen? He can hear a maximum sound of the train. When the train is going towards the observer, then he can able to hear a maximum sound. When the train going or passes away from the observer, he is going away from the observer, train is going away, in that case he can hear a minimum, or the frequency of the sound goes on minimum, or loudness of the sound goes on increasing. When source or observer, out of these two, if one is moving, either source is going towards the observer or observer is going towards the source, in that case we can hear the sound frequency is changing. That change in frequency is called apparent frequency, and that apparent frequency of sound can be determined by Doppler effect. Then what is the change in frequency of sound? That change in frequency is called apparent frequency. Apparent frequency is given by, what is the formula for apparent frequency? It is V plus minus V naught upon V minus plus Vs into N naught. What is the apparent frequency? I hope you understand what is apparent frequency. Change in frequency of the sound. When the train is going towards the observer or going away from the observer, we can hear the frequency of sound is increasing, decreasing. That change in frequency is called apparent frequency. This is given by this equation. Now here what is N naught? N naught is the natural frequency of sound. Natural means original frequency. Suppose you are standing on the platform and train is also standing on the platform. Then you can hear a distinct, clear sound of the train. So that is a natural frequency of sound. N is apparent, change in frequency. What is V? V is original velocity of sound. Velocity of sound. Original. So 332 meter per second at 0 degrees Celsius. And what is V naught? V naught is the velocity of observer. So you are standing on the platform, so you are the observer. So velocity of observer is V naught, and Vs is the velocity of source. Then who is the source of the sound? Then train is the source of the sound. Then that is the velocity of the train. That is velocity of the source. Here we can see what is the difference in the signs. In the numerator there is a positive sign upward and negative down. In the denominator negative is up and positive is down. So what is the difference? When source and observer are moving towards each other, then we use upper signs. upper signs. Which are the upper signs? Positive, negative. When we are going to use upper signs, positive and negative, in numerator positive, denominator is negative. When we are using upper signs, when they are moving towards each other. If they are moving away from each other, then we are going to use lower signs. Lower signs means what? Negative sign in the numerator and positive sign in the denominator. When the source and observer are moving away from each other. So by using Doppler effect, we can derive the value of change in frequency of the sound when the source, observer out of the two, one is moving. So this topic is important in terms of the examination, and also this is important for numerical point of view. So this is about the done of the chapter number sound.